16-pound baby born in Brazil. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A Brazilian woman gave birth to a 16-pound baby. Slidine Santos dos Santos said she didn't expect this surprise when she gave birth to her sixth child, baby Anderson, via cesarean section on January 18 at Hospital Padre Colombia in Brazil. And this is the largest baby to be born in Brazil. However, it pales to comparison to the largest baby ever born, which was in Italy in September of 1955 and weighed 22 pounds 8 ounces. And it's a lucky thing they have C-section because them size picnic would not be able to come natural no matter how wide the woman legs open. And as Memphis, Tennessee braced for potential social unrest, U.S. authorities on Thursday charged 5 former police officers with murder in connection with the deadly beating of a black man. Tyree Nichols, 29, was pulled over on January 7 for allegedly driving recklessly, according to the Memphis Police Department. And following a chase, police beat him to the point of being unrecognizable, according to a statement from family lawyers Ben Crump and Antonio Romanucci. According to the police, Nichols was rushed to the hospital in a critical condition where he died. And this keeps happening over and over again, and you sometimes wonder when will these types of killing stop. The 5 officers, all of whom are black, were fired after an internal inquiry revealed that they had used excessive force and had neglected to provide aid, according to the police. Meanwhile, over in Jamaica, some new teachers haven't received any pay since September of 2022 and have now raised concern for the Jamaica Teachers Association. Lasanja Harrison, president of the JTA, who declined to give the name of the institution where the impacted teachers work, expressed her concern over the delay in payments because all necessary paperwork had already been given to the Ministry of Education. She also bemoaned the fact that these teachers who are waiting for their pay have responsibilities, some have loans, other obligations and dependents, and have now been placed in a very difficult situation. However, Jamaica is not a very real place because this is unreal and cruel for people to be working for the government for 5 long months and don't get a red cent. This is past inhumane. The Office of the Children's Advocate Representative is to conduct intervention and sensitization sessions at Newell High School in St. Elizabeth, and this is in response to a situation at the school where a teacher was seen on camera verbally abusing, chasing, and threatening students. The teacher indicated to pupils that he had committed murder before and would be willing to do so again. Massime Massa. What never happened in a year happened in a day. And this is a serious man for true, admitting to commit murder. The chairman of the school board has now scheduled an urgent meeting for this to discuss the situation today. And while the police are now involved investigating the incident as well. A 14-year-old boy from Central Road, Kingston 10, has been charged with illegal possession of ammunition and offensive weapon following an incident at a hospital in the corporate area on Tuesday. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that about 4:30 p.m., the teen was assisted to hospital when his bag was taken from him. His bag was searched and 2 rounds of ammunition and 4 pairs of scissors were seized. A report was made to the police and the teen was arrested and subsequently charged following a question and answer session in the presence of an attorney. A court date for him is now being finalized. Meanwhile, still on Tuesday, after being discovered in possession of a car trunk full of clothes items and being unable to explain how they obtained them, a man and a woman were taken to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Charges of unlawful possession of property were brought against Troy Thompson and Shanna Campbell. In addition, Thompson was accused of operating a vehicle without a valid license and without insurance. When they appeared before Senior Parish Judge Laurie Ann Cole Montague, they both entered pleas of guilty to the crime of unlawful possession of property. And after reportedly sexually assaulting a mentally ill woman at a party in Ty Dixon district in St. Catherine on December 31st of last year, 2 males from that city have been charged with a number of offenses. The charges against Ronaldo Johnson, also known as Mario, a 20-year-old auto electrician, and Delvin Llewellyn, also known as Sean, a 32-year-old carpenter, include forceful kidnapping, rape, engaging in sexual activity with a mentally ill person, buggery, and grievous sexual assault. And according to report, the mentally challenged woman was at a party in the neighborhood when Johnson and Llewellyn allegedly dragged her into some bushes and alternately raped and assaulted her. A report was made to the police and the alleged rapists were arrested and charged. Meanwhile, following an incident on Mitchell Street in Kingston 16 on January 11, 21-year-old man was charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. Romario Walters, a contractor from Jacks Road in Mountain View, Kingston 2, also known as Ansman, has been charged, and he's suspected of murdering 31-year-old Kimberly Jones, a nursing student from Mitchell Street, Kingston 16. Meanwhile, over in Manchester, the Manchester police said the individual that have been detained in connection with a murder that occurred in Miketown last week is the brother of the deceased. Michael Brown, who had address in Miketown and Waterford in England, was shot and killed on January 19 while visiting Jamaica. According to reports, Mr. Brown was ambushed by gunmen at his unfinished home in Somerset District at about 12:30 in the morning. The individual who was arrested is his own brother, according to the Manchester Police Superintendent Shane McCullough. He said that a family property dispute which had been going on since 2015 was the cause of the murder. Charged with murder is 38-year-old Lemone Brown, a carpenter and resident of Love Lane in Miketown. And last week when this man was killed, I said that returning residents to Jamaica must be extra careful as once you leave for more than a year, you become a target when you return. And most times when returning residents get killed, it is mostly a relative who is behind it. A resident of Mount Hindmost in Clarendon was shot and killed, and now the police are looking for the suspect. Selvin Dunkley, a 58-year-old farmer of the often peaceful rural village, has been identified as the deceased. It is said that shortly around 9:15 on Monday, residents heard tremendous booms that sounded like gunfire. Residents found Dunkley's lifeless body at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday and called the police. When they arrived, they discovered that Dunkley's body in a yard not far from his home. His neck and head both had bullet wounds. Dunkley was declared dead at the Mapen Hospital after the body was taken there. Meanwhile, two men were cut down in a hail of bullets during an attack by gunmen at a pub in Tucker, St. James yesterday afternoon. Another person said to be a teen was also injured in that incident. The dead men have been identified as 29-year-old David Elliott, otherwise called Pogga, and Marlon Medley, 30, both from 13th Street in Tucker. The police reportedly found about 30 spent shells while processing the murder scene, and these include 29mm and 40.40 round casing. Onto sports, Harmony FC and Duncans United will meet in the final of the Trelawney Football Association Tova Hamilton sponsored knockout competition at William Dib Memorial tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. Harmony FC and Duncans United qualified for the finals and are placed in the Jamaica Football Federation Tier 2 playoff after wins in the semifinals last week. Harmony beat Holland 4-3 on penalty kicks after they were locked at 1-all following regulation time last Saturday, while Duncans United beat Jacksontown 3-0 a day after, and both games were played at William Nib. Over in England, two teams fighting both tooth and nail for the Premier League title this year will clash in the FA Cup encounter today. Manchester City will host Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. Over the past weekend, Arsenal beat the other Manchester team, Manchester United 3-2, and we expect the same today. Arsenal leads all teams in the Premier League by 5 points and has beaten City in the last 4 times they met. That the team is now steaming right now and they are ready to go. So go on Arsenal, go on go win on a game. Anyway, please remember that if you ever miss the news on this radio station, go to YouTube and type in Jamaican Undiluted News. Listen, like, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell that as soon as we upload, you'll be the first to get it. That's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I gone.